Do you believe in horror movies based on true events? What if I told you the Pope's Exorcist wasn't just inspired by real events, but that Father Gabrielle Amorth performed over 160,000 exorcisms? In this video, we'll uncover the Vatican's darkest secrets and explore the terrifying reality behind the story. Father Amorth's life was filled with chilling stories of possession-documented cases that defy explanation. These events influenced the terrifying narrative of the Pope's Exorcist. Imagine witnessing such events firsthand. The question is, how much of this truth are you ready to accept? Beware, the more you learn, the harder it will be to ignore the signs around you. The stories Father Amorth encountered reveal a thin line between the known and the unknown, a space where terror lives. Are you ready to cross that line and see what lies beyond? Stay until the end, because the truth you'll discover here may forever change the way you view terror. The Pope's Exorcist is not just a movie, it's a window into a reality few dare to face. The question is, can you handle what's on the other side? Have you ever felt a chill realizing fiction could be real? The Pope's Exorcist is based on the life of Father Gabrielle Amorth, a real Vatican exorcist. The film blends suspense, real facts, and history. Imagine watching an exorcism on screen and realizing it might be a true story. Terror suddenly becomes something else entirely. One of the darkest moments in the film confronts us with images of possession that defy all logic. Imagine this as a reflection of Father Amorth's documented accounts. He vividly described how demonic forces manipulated people, making them unrecognizable. These stories blur the lines between fact and fiction, leaving us questioning everything. What if part of the script was based on cases Amorth documented as genuine supernatural events? Yes, the man behind the movie left a legacy of chilling stories that could freeze even the most skeptical hearts. The film merges real accounts with fiction so seamlessly it's hard to distinguish one from the other. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Who was Father Gabrielle Amorth? What led him to dive so deeply into the world of darkness? His stories are a window into a reality we often avoid, but their weight lingers, making us wonder how much of what we see on screen reflects the truth behind his battles with evil. Father Gabrielle Amorth wasn't just a man of faith, he was a force against the unknown. His legacy includes over 30 books on demonology and spiritual practices. Reading them feels like he's guiding you through shadows, each page echoing his courage as he faced unspeakable horrors. Sharing these real facts was his way of warning the world. Amorth's books aren't just accounts, they're spiritual survival guides. He detailed signs of malevolent presence, sudden temperature changes, shadows moving on their own, and eerie noises in the night. Have you ever experienced anything like this? His writing carries the weight of history, making you feel the chill he felt when facing the possessed. Amorth's greatest contribution may have been making the occult tangible. Before him, exorcisms were seen as folklore. He exposed the procedures, challenges, and human flaws in the face of the supernatural. How many others, like him, battled darkness without leaving a trace? His words remind us that the unknown lurks closer than we think. If Amorth faced so much, what kept him going despite the constant danger? Each word he wrote is a testament to his resilience and belief in his mission. His legacy isn't just about confronting evil, it's a reminder to us all. The battle against the unknown requires not just faith, but the courage to face what others fear to acknowledge. Imagine performing over 160,000 exorcisms in a lifetime. For Father Gabrielle Amorth, this wasn't a miscalculation, but decades of battling forces beyond explanation. Not all were full possessions. Many were deliverance prayers. But still, 160,000, each exorcism was a battle. The silence between prayers heavy with something otherworldly. Amorth said every case was unique, but they shared one thing: fierce resistance to the sacred. He described voices that didn't belong to the bodies emitting them, objects moving on their own, and explicit threats from unseen forces. How did he endure this day after day? Perhaps his unshakable faith was his shield. But what about those without it? The most chilling thought is that these numbers represent real people, lives touched by something most of us only dream about in nightmares. How many cases found resolution? And how many left invisible scars that may never heal? Each exorcism is its own story, a fragment of a larger battle one Amorth fought thousands of times. But did he truly win the war? Among countless victories, could something darker have remained, waiting for its moment to return? Amorth's battles were many, but the unknown forces he faced might still linger in the shadows, reminding us that terror never truly disappears, only hides. Before becoming the most famous exorcist, Gabrielle Amorth faced challenges few could endure. Born in 1925 in a turbulent Italy, he grew up surrounded by human and spiritual struggles. During World War II, he joined the Italian resistance, fighting Nazi oppression. Could his experience in battle have forged the courage he later used to confront demons? The resistance wasn't just physical, it was also moral. Amorth witnessed humanity's darkest side's violence, betrayal, despair, yet chose faith as his guide. It's striking to think that a man who once carried weapons to free his country would later wield a crucifix to free souls. Could these battles have felt equally evil to him? After the war, Amorth's spiritual journey began. In the 1950s, he entered the priesthood, trading physical weapons for spiritual ones. This transition shows how he came to understand that true terror lies not just in the visible world, but in forces that operate in the shadows. Each step prepared him for the horrors he'd face as chief exorcist. Was it all a prelude, training for the battles ahead? Perhaps his war experiences were part of a greater purpose, but as he embarked on this path, could he have fully understood what awaited him in the fight against the unknown? His journey reveals a man shaped by both human and supernatural darkness, yet unshaken in his resolve. When Gabrielle Amorth became Rome's chief exorcist in 1986, he knew the job would be terrifying. Exorcism isn't just prayer, it's confronting forces that defy reality. Yet Amorth combined faith with humor. He claimed demons hated being mocked, so he laughed and challenged them, crucifix in hand. Imagine his firm voice and bold laugh filling a tense room. But Amorth was more than a demon hunter. He knew many cases of possession were mental health issues. Before performing any exorcism, he insisted his patients see a doctor or psychologist first. Despite his unshakable faith, he understood not everything was supernatural. Would you have the discernment to see the difference or succumb to fear? Amorth balanced faith, science, and courage, making him unique. Exorcisms weren't spectacles to him, they were services to humanity. Yet his accounts are chilling: guttural voices, bodies contorted impossibly, and a weight in the room that seemed to steal the air. Do you feel that weight now, as if something is watching you? Even in the face of terror, Amorth was relentless. He believed his mission wasn't just to save individuals, but to protect the souls of those around them. Acting as a shield against evil, his unwavering faith and fearless approach made him not just an exorcist, but a guardian of humanity's spiritual battle. Gabrielle Amorth didn't just face obvious evil, he saw hidden dangers in what many considered harmless. Yoga, he said, was an open door to evil, and Harry Potter's spells were satanic influences on young minds. Is this an exaggeration, or did he see something deeper, something we choose to overlook? Amorth's controversial views reflected his belief that anything diverting from Christian faith was a gateway for evil. To him, the unknown, no matter how fascinating, carried invisible traps. How often have you embraced something seemingly harmless without questioning what might be hidden behind it? But this wasn't mere conservatism. To Amorth, these were pieces of a larger spiritual battle. He saw the world as a battlefield, where every choice and practice had weight in what he called the war against evil. Radical as it sounds, his refusal to underestimate the forces he faced made him so effective in his work. What if he was right? Could everyday practices, done out of curiosity or entertainment, truly open doors to something darker? It's a disturbing thought, but it leads us to something even more unsettling. The documented records of his battles against forces that many refuse to acknowledge. Few dared to capture Gabrielle Amorth's work, but in 2017, a documentary did just that, revealing an exorcism he conducted. What the public saw wasn't just a ritual. It was a glimpse into terror, inhuman screams, impossible contortions, and a palpable presence in the air, as if something invisible was watching every move. The images are unsettling because they challenge skepticism. Even non-believers are faced with something hard to explain. What would you do in that environment, realizing science offers no answers and faith is the only weapon? Amorth, unwavering in his prayers, stood firm where most would flee without looking back. The documentary doesn't just show the ritual, but what it represents. A battle between unseen forces, fought within a person's soul. Here's the most unsettling question. Are these battles limited to extraordinary moments like exorcisms? Or do these forces silently influence our daily lives, shaping our thoughts and decisions? Perhaps this is Amorth's true lesson. The unknown is closer than we imagine, waiting for a chance to manifest. His work serves as a chilling reminder that some battles are fought not in the physical world, but in the unseen, leaving us to wonder how prepared we truly are to face them. Now that you know the dark details behind the Pope's Exorcist, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you ignore the signs around you or start seeing the world differently? History shows us the unknown is always lurking, waiting to manifest. Why not be prepared? Who knows what that next strange sound in your house really means? Reality, like Father Amorth's experiences, shows that terror often transcends fiction. What if these real facts have a greater impact on your life than you realize? How protected are we really? The answer may be more unsettling than we're ready to accept. But remember, the choice to face or ignore it is always ours. Want to keep exploring these mysteries? Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications now. Here, you'll find answers to questions few dare to ask, and stories that will forever change your view of the world. Are you ready to dive even deeper into the unknown?